Savings goals keeping you up at night? Let a Regions banker help you build a Regions Green Print plan, a free financial roadmap personalized for what matters to you. Start building your financial confidence. Visit Regions.com to find a branch near you. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Broadcasting from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio, inside the Gas South Convention Center in Duluth, Georgia. It's time for Gwinnett Business Radio. Gwinnett Business Radio is presented by Regions Bank. Start building your financial confidence at Regions Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing member.
And hello again, everybody, and welcome to another award-winning edition of Gwinnett Business Radio here on Business RadioX. We are broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio in the beautiful Gas South Convention Center. Mike Salmond alongside Stephen Julian. Hello, Stephen.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How's that award doing? Have you dusted it recently?
I have dusted it off and cleaned it up and polished it. It's time for a new one, though.
Well, I heard that we're in the running for this year's Buckeye Newshawk Award, so I don't know if we'll win that one. Do you like that reference?
Sure.
Late 70s, early 80s?
Sure, there you go.
That's my pop culture wheelhouse, baby.
We have some wonderful guests today. We have exciting news, exciting stuff coming up here in the convention center. Joining us from the Georgia Festival of Trees is Angie Ulibarri and Jackie Cobb, and also from Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute, Dr. Timilehin Wusu.
Yeah, we got great guests. Let's get to it.
All right, the Georgia Festival of Trees. Hello, ladies. Jackie and Angie from the Georgia Festival of Trees. Angie is the executive director. Jackie is the development director. Being local, guys, I've heard about the Georgia Festival of Trees for years. I've been to it in the past. It's coming back. It's going to be here in the convention center in Duluth, Georgia. Angie, tell us what's going on.
Well, we are super excited because we're coming to Gwinnett County. We spent the last 3 years at the Georgia World Congress Center where we relaunched the Georgia Festival of Trees successfully, and we've had a great run, but we realized that we needed to make a move, and we brought it out to the suburbs, so we're really excited. So beginning November 23rd through December 1st, we're going to be celebrating the holidays at the Gas South Convention Center in a really big way. It's a lot of excitement there.
For those people that have never been to the Festival of Trees, what are they going to experience the first time? And one of the first things is it's all indoors. So talk a little bit about what the experience will be for someone who comes to the festival.
Great. It is all indoors, which is nice. So if the weather's bad, you can still come. And if it has to do with Christmas, you're probably going to find it at the Georgia Festival of Trees. We have so many things happening. Sometimes I forget them all. So I'm going to do my best to run through it. So the first thing is Santa is there. You can get your pictures done with Santa. It's really, really fun, beautiful photos. So that's a number one thing to do. We have an entire children's area that has games and crafts and the Elf Training Academy, which is a big obstacle course the kids can run around through 1,000,000 times till they're tired. We added the Little Elves Driving Academy, which is an area for toddlers so they don't get squashed at the Elf Training Academy. And we have an entire Lego experience where they can go build to their heart's content. And there's a Lego competition, so you can see all the cool builds that are brought in for that competition. We have a gingerbread area, gingerbread competition. We have entertainment that runs the entire time, nonstop, from local entertainment options. I don't know, all kinds of interesting things. And let's see what else. I'm probably missing things. Jackie might need to jump in.
Jackie
but there's
needs
a
to tag
beautiful,
in and give a
it's a
couple
beautiful.
Jump in, Jackie, if there's anything else.
Tell them about the trees.
Yeah, so at the heart of the Georgia Festival of Trees are the beautiful Christmas trees that people have donated to us. And we don't know how that works. Basically, we have individuals, companies get together as a group or individuals and decorate a full tree, anywhere from 6 feet to 12 feet. And we have them there. I think we're on par for
About 200.
200 trees.
Mm-hmm.
We also will have Christmas wreaths and centerpiece that are donated. So you bring the kids, but you will be amazed at the talent in the city. These trees are breathtaking. And what happens is that there's an auction that goes on the entire week, And when the auction is finished on Monday morning, we actually deliver those trees to the people who bought them, already decorated. So we have some wonderful companies that have donated time and their trucks that are going to help us deliver these. And it's so rewarding because you feel like an elf. You feel like you're delivering. And think about it. Who likes to go out and get a tree and decorate it? Get one already done. And that's a great place to do that.
Well, I think you're right. The trees are the star of the show.
Yes.
And they are amazing. They will blow folks away. When you see some of the trees, like, oh my God. What are some of the ones that we might expect? I don't know if you give any secrets, or maybe some of the ones that you remember from past years that just kind of blew folks away.
Well, we always have themed trees that there seem to be every year. So you'll probably see a Grinch tree. You'll probably see a Mardi Gras tree. There's a lot. We always watch the trends and then kind of send that out amongst our favorite donors and say, okay, this is what's trending this year. Let's see it come in. So there's a lot of metallics, a lot of blue this year, a lot of shiny things. It's going to be great. I can tell you red and white is always a hit, and we have a lot of just red and whites. So I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good year.
I've seen. I saw on the website. I think Coke sponsored a tree and did some stuff. So yeah, there's definitely some good stuff. The other really important thing about the Festival of Trees is that you talk about trees. You can bid on trees, and the really important thing is where the proceeds go. So talk about what does the Festival of Trees? Who does it benefit?
So the Festival of Trees, we set out to raise awareness about the problem with the trafficking in human trafficking in the state of Georgia, particularly the commercial sexual exploitation of children in Georgia. It's a big problem. It's happening in all of our communities all around us, and we wanted to draw awareness to that. But more importantly, wanted to raise funds to give to organizations that are out working on the front lines to end it before it happens, and then also to help support survivors as they recover. And so we've covered the spectrum by partnering with two really incredible organizations, Street Grace and Atlanta Redemption, Inc. And so they're the recipients of the proceeds of the festival. So when you come and you participate in the festival, that's what you're doing, is you're elevating their efforts, and you're elevating awareness and all of the hard work that everybody's doing in that space.
Talk about tickets and how people can participate.
So tickets are on sale now. You can get them through our website, which is gafestivalofTrees.org. Tickets are $18.95 for adults and children. The ticket for children includes all of the fun things that they can do in reindeer games. So all of the crafts, the games, the Legos, all those things that I already mentioned. There are a few things there at the festival that have an additional cost. One is cookie decorating. Sugar cookie decorating involves a whole little kit that they get.
And you get to eat the cookies after you're done decorating?
Sure.
No,
Okay.
you can't.
I just wanted to
They
make
have
sure.
to be thrown in the trash.
I
Yeah.
wanted
have
to be
to throw-
clear. I wanted to make sure.
That's terrible.
I'm sorry. That is not true. That is misinformation. I apologize for that.
As you exit, please put your cookie in the trash can.
Don't take a bite. Don't take a bite. Yeah. No.
So there's that, and then Santa Photos has an additional fee, and then also the Pink Pig, which is the big deal this year at the
Nice.
Georgia Festival of Trees, that we've been able to rebirth the retired Pink Pig as a new experience at the Georgia Festival of Trees. So this is a big deal that we can discuss further, but there is a small fee to ride the Pink Pig.
There's always has been, and
Yes.
there always will be. But that's a rite of passage for especially people who grew up in Atlanta and now have children themselves.
Yes.
To be able to do that.
For those that don't know, though, how does the Pink Pig tie into Christmas?
Well, it's so funny you asked that, because I am not a native to Atlanta. We moved here. We loved it here. We said, this is where we want to stay forever. Let's do something special for Atlanta. So we rebirthed the Georgia Festival of Trees 4 years ago. First question I got, are you bringing back the Pink Pig? And I was like, what?
What's the pink?
I
What
don't
are you
know
talking
what that
about?
is.
Yeah.
So after a lot of research, I discovered that the answer was no, and I was going to have to say no a lot, and I was getting really sad. But thankfully, I'm surrounded by really cool people like Jackie, an incredible marketing team, and a really ambitious and ferocious husband. And they would not put that bone down, and they chased it down. They got finally got Macy's involved, and it took many, many, many months. But Macy's has graciously given us the rights to the name of the Pink Pig, with instructions that we would have to relaunch it in a new way because none of the old infrastructure is available. So we've created a whole new Pink Pig experience, but we wanted to make it nostalgic and special, and Macy's also wanted that to be, because they understand how important it is to Atlanta. Yeah. So the new Pink Pig is Penny, or Penelope, but she's the granddaughter of Priscilla, for those who remember the original Pink Pig. So there's a family connection there, and she's coming back and filling that role for her grandmother, who retired in 2019, or 2021.
So my husband, who's been here his whole life, he has a child, he's 65. He's got a picture of himself at 5 years old riding the pig. I asked him that, because I'm actually not from here either. He said the way it worked way back then at Rich's was that there was a big Christmas area in Rich's, and you would ride the Pink Pig to go see Santa Claus. So it was the way to see Santa Claus. So that was the connection, how the Pink Pig became related to Christmas.
And as someone who rode the Pink Pig over 40 years ago, let me thank you that you're not using the original equipment of the Pink Pig. Not that there was anything wrong with that, but just with age, and it was moved, and it was revamped, and there were some, So
So is this Pink Pig?
Have you not heard of the Pink Pig?
Well, I've heard of the Pink Pig, and it's I saw a mascot. A person in a costume when you guys announced you're coming here.
That's not the Pink Pig.
But
That's
it was a ride. But
it is a ride.
But is it a ride?
It's a ride.
It's a ride.
It's a ride. So the
redone.
the new version is an open car train ride that goes through the entire festival. And the tour guide is Penny, the Pink Pig.
Nice.
She's going to tell a story, tell you all about the festival, and it's great. She's so fun. And then also, we do have a mascot too, so Penny will be there, and people can get pictures with Penny, and it's going to be fantastically fun. So, it'll be a great opportunity to start a new tradition with your families.
Well, kudos to Macy's, and real hats off, kudos to you guys for fighting that fight. The corporate maneuvering and the negotiations and all that. So I good job. Well
Those are
done.
Good people up there at Macy's, because they really do understand
absolutely
how important it is to Atlanta.
And to be tied with the Georgia Festival of Trees and your mission and what you guys are trying to do. Jackie, I wanted to ask you.
Wait, I think Jackie's got something.
Jackie's whispering something.
So, Angie, tell them a little bit about something new that the festival is going to feature related to the Pink Pig for our all-adult audience.
That is a good point. So, this year I said to my entire leadership team we are not adding anything new. And now look at us. We have the Pink Pig, and so much can happen in a year. But we also had the opportunity to roll out a new event on our last Saturday. It's called After Dark. And we're doing a comedy showcase. It's for adults only, starts at 6 p.m. It's going to be filled with games and prizes and all kinds of fun. And then a comedy showcase featuring 8 local comedians from the Atlanta area. So, and some of them are bigger names, like you might have seen them before opening for another major act around here. So we're really proud of what this has developed into, and it is a great night out.
Well, and I'm going to jump on that. If people need to go to the website, there almost every single day you have something interesting. Right. I know as a parent of a special needs adult, the connection with the special needs community, and in fact, opening early one day for sensory issues. So you guys really have done a fantastic job. Everybody should go look at the calendar. They can find something, not only just to come to the festival, which is great in and of itself, but to find a special, hey, that comedy thing sounds good. Hey, here's something for somebody with special needs and other things like that. Jackie, I wanted to ask you as the development director, obviously an event like this also needs involvement from the business community. We are Business RadioX, located here in Gwinnett County. You guys are moving here to Gwinnett County. It might be, is there some last minute things, or moving forward in the years ahead of time as people are listening to this? What are ways that businesses can get involved other than put together a tree? That's obviously one thing. What are some of the other ways?
So I have been so pleasantly surprised on the community support. This is my 4th year kind of being involved with all of this. So we are 100% volunteer driven. We have not a single person that gets paid on our staff. So in order for us to pull off this very, extravagance kind of scenario, we need to help to pay what's going to cost us. So we've had some wonderful commitments from and support from a lot of different companies that have donated funds, either just to cover a specific area, and we have wonderful support in people. And for example, some of the trucks delivering the trees are people at Racetrack, and some of these other ones that deliver, they're giving us trucks. So we would love to continue that, it's a great way to show your community that you have a stake in fighting human trafficking. Most companies do not know how they can make a difference, and they want to. So what better way of bringing people together and support communities that are going to go out there? Because the reality is that human trafficking has a huge economic impact on businesses, on social issues, on community issues. So everybody sees it as a way of just getting together to fight this insidious problem. And we're hoping that as the festival grows, that we have more people and more groups and companies that say, I want to be part of the solution, and that's how it is.
To add on that, it's not too late to get involved as a corporate sponsor. We still can be very clever and creative for ways to elevate a brand even this late.
Yeah.
And going forward, because we advertise almost the entire year, we're very active on social media. The first half of the year, we do a lot of work raising awareness and doing a lot of education around trafficking. So our sponsors, they're constantly getting pushed out there. So it's always good to get involved with us because we can elevate your brand 12 months out of the year. Mm-hmm. So it's never too late. And the other thing I wanted to mention just dropped out of my head just now, so we'll just move on.
Well, I was going to say, along with being a sponsor and getting your brand name out there and stuff like that, just volunteering your time. I'm sure there's always places people can help, even if it's just a day, even if it's just a 4-hour shift or whatever. There's certainly ways they can help.
Absolutely.
Come join us. It is such a rewarding way of doing things. Young people, older folks, and you mentioned all the different things. Don't forget that we also have a senior day. We also have a armed forces day and pajama day, ugly sweater letter. So again, just reinforce what you said, there's something for everybody.
And this is a week-long event starting November 23rd. It's the first day. It goes through December 1st. Mm-hmm. If there was a day not to miss, I mean, you mentioned different themes for each day, but if there was is there a certain day that...
No, just buy a ticket for every day and come every day, right?
I can't say for sure if there's a day that would be less appealing than another.
Great stuff going on every day.
I can say every day is full of surprises. We have all kinds of surprises that just pop up suddenly.
She just gave a tease.
Yeah.
That was
nice. You won't come to the festival and not experience some sort of weird surprise around the corner.
But the hundreds of trees you mentioned that are going to be decorated and out there, if I come the last day, it's not like they're going to be gone because they're all sold. They're there for the whole duration.
Mm-hmm. The auction closes Saturday the 30th at 8 p.m. right before the comics start the show. So you have up until 8 p.m. on Saturday to get your tree won, and you can bid from the comfort of your own home if you don't make it to after dark. But it's all online. So we've had so many people who, like early on in COVID was an issue, we had so many trees won by people who didn't even come to the festival. So that auction is available to the community whether you come to the festival or not. So
now there is a secret that we want to share too. If we have this wonderful gala on Friday night, if you come to the gala that night, and it's a wonderful event, you get to see all the trees. We've got some entertainment. The trees are up. You can buy a tree right then and there, and the tree does not go home with you. But if you're not a big bidding person and you just want to go, I want that tree, it's yours. You will get it on Monday, and you can just enjoy the rest of the festival, and the tree's yours. So some people don't like to do auctions, so you can actually go in there and buy whatever you see. Point, and it's yours.
I would imagine it has to be a particular price, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Preferably. Special price.
Higher than what it could be in
So that's a special event on November 22nd.
Yes.
All this information we're talking about,
It's all on
everything's
the
on the
website.
website.
Yes, you can link to any of it from our homepage.
And Santa's there every single day.
Santa's there every day. You can pre-purchase and select a time that you want to see him, or you can come and set up your appointment on site.
How did you get Santa for a whole week?
He's amazing.
We've been good.
And he's the MC at our gala this year too, so he's really
Wait,
carved
Santa
out some time.
MCs the
Yeah.
gala? Goodness gracious.
He's a hoot.
Stephen, as a kid growing up in the New York City area, I remember every year during the holidays, we'd be driving, downtown in Manhattan or whatever. Every single corner was a Santa Claus ringing the
very
bell
confusing.
and everything. And as a kid, I was like, "Oh my God, Dad, I don't understand." Those were Santa's helpers,
That's right.
Yeah.
as I found out. But this is not a Santa helper. This is actually Santa
This
Claus.
is Santa,
Real guy.
the real guy.
You got Saint Nick.
We got connections.
You want to hear a funny little story, really quick?
Sure.
The other day, I was driving my car, and my grandson was in the
You didn't
back.
run over Santa Claus,
No.
did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
My grandson was in the back because we were going to school, and the phone rang, and I answered it, and it was Santa. And my grandson was like, "What?" He didn't know Santa could call me. I'm really, really important.
Wow.
You're on Santa's speed dial.
Yeah.
There's another
And
old
it's hard to
reference.
stay on the nice list, but so far I'm doing okay. But yeah,
Yes,
my
you are.
grandson's mind was blown.
We're not worried about you. It's Jackie we're worried about.
Yeah, as we all should be.
know. Yes.
Heard.
Angie and Jackie from the Georgia Festival of Trees. Let's give the website again, because tickets, they can buy tickets at the door, I assume, as well.
We do not suggest that. They're a little
Buy 'em
bit
in
more
advance.
expensive. Buy them in advance. It's great. And let me just say one more thing. I'm so sorry, but if you buy your tickets in advance, you have the opportunity to buy a Pink Pig VIP ticket, which puts you in a faster line to ride the pig and gives you a little souvenir that nobody else has. Those are very limited, so you got to pre-purchase early to get those VIP tickets. So there's a little
Come to
heads
the
up.
gala and buy a tree.
There's so many
early,
things.
to do
Oh
the
my gosh, do
VIP,
it.
Get a pink
So anyway, it's gafestivaloftrees.org, and everything you need's right there.
gafestivalofTrees.org.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm writing
All
that
right.
down. So yeah, very good.
Thanks for having us.
Angie
you.
Ulibarri Jackie Cobb, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And again, let's give that date, November 23rd to December 1st. All the information, though, is on the website.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Micah, you love Christmas. It sounds like you love Christmas.
Everybody loves Christmas.
Everybody loves
The
Christmas.
Grinch.
You know what else people love? Subaru. Love is what makes a Subaru. Enjoy big savings and a hassle-free experience at Subaru of Gwinnett, where people sell cars. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com and join their family today, or come in and see the difference. If you're already a Subaruist, then you can check out their Facebook page for the latest news, offers, community events. Visit them at 2950 Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, 2 blocks north of something. I don't know. But their phone number is 470-824-3860. You'll love the difference at Subaru of Gwinnett.
And we are in the Subaru of Gwinnett studio, and joining us now is Dr. Timilehin Wusu. And speaking of Santa Claus, he's old, probably limping around now, probably has a couple bad
Santa
knees.
is old, not our guest.
Yeah, not Wusu, of
Yeah,
course.
he needs knee replacement. I think.
Yeah. And you go by Wusu.
I go by Wusu.
I mean, but shouldn't it be Dr. Wusu? They just call you Wusu.
Some people call me Dr. Wusu. A lot of my friends call me Wusu, especially the new generation of patients. Once they get to know me, they're like, "Hey, Wusu," and that totally works for me.
Who worked on you? Who is your doctor? Wusu.
Yeah.
Wusu. I'm going for the the one name thing. We got Prince, we got Madonna, we got Wusu. It's
In the
there.
world of orthopedic surgeons.
That's right.
The one-name surgeon. I like
one-name
that.
surgeon.
And
I like that.
you're here representing Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute. You're an orthopedic surgeon. So welcome to the program, first
Thank
of
you
all.
very much for having me. It's good to be here. Good morning,
How did you
everybody.
get into orthopedics?
How did I get into orthopedics? When I was young, probably high school, I was a big nerd and also a big jock. So I ended up playing football and running track for Stanford. And when I was in high school, I did football, wrestling, track. And I could not stay completely healthy all the time. But as a nerd jock, I thought to myself, well, how can I enhance my body in natural ways in which I can recover from injuries as well as prevent injuries going forward. So every time I got hurt, I would look to see who helped me get better and try to figure out what was I doing, what was I eating, how did what was the process that got me to the next level? And in college, I tried to figure. I was like, okay, I'll do sports medicine. That sounds like somebody helped me get better. I wanted to do that for other people, and I was looking at the physical therapists because they were putting their hands on me, and so I was like, oh, this is wonderful. The therapists are helping heal my body. But then I was like, and I realized that the therapists were often taking their orders from another guy that I would see occasionally, and I was like, well, he's the guy up top. And I kind of had a moment in college where I want to be hands-on with the people actually doing the healing, but I also want to see if I can almost change the culture on how athletes train and move and see what I could do to get people actually feeling better. And I feel like the orthopedic surgeon seems to be the one that was directing the flow. And so I figured, well, I'll combine my love of therapy with, the skills that I'll gain in med school and residency and hopefully try to make a small difference in the community I'm with.
So you were a jock and a nerd, because that's a unique story, because most athletes, I don't think like that.
Yeah, the scholar baller thing. I really have to blame my mom, because I myself, as a kid, school is not nearly as fun for as it was after school and getting on the playground. So for me, I was a jock, but my mom was. So I'm Nigerian. Wusu is a Nigerian name, and my mom is classically Nigerian, which is basically school is 1, 2, and 3, and everything else is periphery. And lo and behold, she can back up her words. And so I got one bad quiz and kicked off of a sport.
So she's the original Nigerian nightmare.
Yeah.
And
she turned that nightmare of being kicked off of a sport into a dream, because once I followed the path of, okay, I'll get the grades and then I'll do the sports, I was able to play big time at Stanford, which was a huge dream of mine.
So your mom may have started you down the path, but I have a feeling that as an athlete and as someone who loved competition, when you first applied yourself to learning and realized, oh, I think I can get pretty good at this, I can get the grades if I do the work, did that become a competition too? Because I think the nerd jock is I think there's more of them than Mike might let on. And I think one of the things is you do good and you go, oh, I'm kicking everybody's butt in this class, so let me just keep doing that.
It does feel good when you find something that you can excel at. And I think a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm just good at any one thing. But I would say, and what I'm trying to teach my kids is that, yeah, there are some people that have skills, but for the vast majority of people, it's just how we practice. It's just the little steps that we take. And so
getting better every day.
Getting better every day.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And by the way, you're competing against yourself first, right? Hey, I can do better. I can get 100. Oh, they give bonus. I'm going to get 105. All right. So at this point, you've gone into practice. You're starting to be an orthopedic surgeon. So today, what kind of injuries and procedures would you say are your specialties?
All right. So I am a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon. So basically all the injuries that would occur in sporting practice, as well as casual sporting for the majority of us that are not playing.
Yep. I got my hand up. Yep.
And really, the wonderful thing about being a sports medicine doctor is we really are a community doctor, because the majority of people I take care of are just the people that you would see in the grocery store that twisted their ankle. I love my patients that were wearing high heels and they have a good story about the night out last Friday, and unfortunately it started off fun and it's not so much fun, but my goal is basically to get people back to doing whatever it is they love. So my areas of focus are shoulders, hips, and knees. I really love hips. I want to put it out there. I'm the hip guy in terms of hip arthroscopy, and
you and Shakira.
Love Shakira. Learned a lot about hips from Shakira as well. Oh, yeah. Well, we don't have to go into the dancing. I do love dancing, but we can talk about that a little bit later.
Nerd doc dancer.
Nerd doc dancer.
I like this.
So one of the subjects that I love to talk about is actually the hip. And you'll see with a lot of orthopedic surgeons, when I was doing my training, even in residency, I don't think I fully understood the hip as well as I learned from my fellowship. And then, the world of hip pain and how it relates to everything else in the body just was illuminated to me. And so I delved in and I try to teach a lot of the other physicians around here what the hip pain is, how to treat it, and also who to send it to if you got a problem.
You really are nerding on this stuff.
I'm like getting all excited.
But I would love that. If you're my doctor, I'm glad
That's
that
exactly
you're
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're loving that. So I don't want to take business away from you, because obviously people that get hurt, that's how you make your living. But as we get old, ideally we don't want people to get hurt. So as I get older and as I age, what are some things that I can do so I don't have to see Dr. Wusu?
Excellent. Well, one thing you can do is you can go to wusumd.com, because I have a bunch of videos that I've curated and actually made myself, in which I have rehab exercises, prehab exercises, as well as a number of mobility exercises that will actually help prevent injury.
So you've got these things on the website so people don't come see you and give you business.
Yes, that's
what's wrong with you.
What is wrong with me?
Yeah.
I ask
you want
myself
people to
this
be
question
healthy
every
and not
day.
have to ever go under the knife. What's up with that?
So what is up?
Mama
this
needs
is,
a new pair of shoes.
Why do I do that? I do it because it happened to me. So as an athlete, I would say I've had 100 injuries. I've only had 2 surgeries, and for those surgeries, I do feel like I would not be able to achieve my goals if I didn't get those surgeries. I had a shoulder surgery and a sports hernia surgery. But for everything else, I was able to come back from those injuries without having to go under a knife, allowing the special way that the body heals, along with specific training and movement patterns, to actually build the strength, help take tension off of different tendons. And then once my playing days were over, then you have kids, you get in your career, and you just stop working out the way that you used to. And then around late 30s, start to feel it. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was sitting there, I'm operating, I'm loving what I do. But I did one of those turns where it's like, you're watching Family Matters from back in the day, and like Carl Winslow, cracks his back. And I got stuck there. And I was able to, finish out the day. And I was like, okay, it'll get better on its own. And it's like a month passes by and I'm still walking crooked and I'm not able to do the dancing that I love to do. And another month passes by and I still haven't figured it out. And finally, we were taking a wonderful Christmas vacation. We normally go to the snow, and this time we're at the beach. I feel like I'm in paradise, and my back is still terrible. And so I thought to myself, well, you give this advice all the time. You know exactly what you need to do. You had all the excuses, and it's time to actually implement it. And so I used to say, okay, you need to have, in order to age gracefully, you have to have balance, strength, and flexibility. And then I started finding these other YouTube videos for mobility. So mobility is the big thing that I put out there, that if you want to feel better, just search YouTube mobility. And most everybody that is doing the work of mobility is credible and they have good things out there. I started doing it for myself, and it was one of those things, little by little I felt better. Little by little by little. I started doing it every day, consistency. And it was 3 months later as when I woke up, I got up and I walked and I brushed my teeth in the morning. And then like halfway through brushing my teeth, I looked back and I was like, what just happened? Because that's not my normal wake-up routine. My normal wake-up routine is to sit at the side of the bed and then just check in with all of the aches and pains that are going on. And I know people out there know exactly what I'm talking about. And I was like, oh, and that helped kind of open my mind of what is actually going on with the body. And the way I think about it is that, you basically, everything that we do puts us in some kind of imbalance. You think about entropy and, the galaxy like spinning away and all of this chaos. But if we don't do something to bring us back in balance and something intentional, then we're going to continue to spiral out of balance. And that's whether you're a professional athlete or a couch potato or a weekend warrior or whatever it is you're doing. Anything that you're doing repetitive is going to increase some muscle strength and neglect some others. So
he is so nerding
I'm
out
so
right
nerding
now.
out.
And I'm loving it.
Well, listen, you said you want a doctor who can nerd out on his topic, and then here's a doctor who's also nerding out on helping to do no harm and to help people prevent and rehab from whatever they're going through. So he puts stuff out there and tells people to go to YouTube and search mobility and go to Wusu MD to learn more of the stuff. So yeah, I like a doctor who also is like, let me help you before you even walk in my office. I'm going to give you one last chance to massively nerd out because one of the little secrets of our show is sometimes people kind of preload questions and give us some things. And so there was something, and Mike read it off the page before the show, and you about jumped out of your chair. So I'm just going to ask it the way it's exactly written on this sheet. Hey, Dr. Wusu, what is FAI?
what is FAI? Well, I'm really glad you asked that
Yeah,
question.
yeah. I was told to ask you that.
So FAI stands for femoral acetabular impingement, and so
I knew that.
Yep, there it is. So femoral like the femur is the thigh bone connected to the hip bone. So it's basically your hip. And when we talk about impingement, I want you to think about pinching. And so just like if you had, if your child pinched you, what they're doing is they're putting their two hard nails together and they're pinching something soft on your skin, and that causes pain. So the same thing can happen in your hip. You take the femur bone and then the acetabulum, which is the cup, and as you move, as you flex your hip and rotate, you can pinch a soft tissue in there. It's called your labrum. And so this labrum, so if you have a labral tear or you hear FAI or a hip impingement, this labrum can be repetitively torn or traumatically torn, and that can cause further pain. But the thing is, once that happens, you have just a little bit of instability in your hip, and your body tries to compensate. And so with your body compensating, what it's doing is it's activating certain muscles to help dynamically stabilize your hip. But when that happens over time, over and over, those muscles get tired and fatigued, and now this is multiplying your pain. So a lot of what I was doing and learning this is, what is actually bothering people? Is it the labrum tear, or is it the muscles surrounding the hip? Some of those things I can take on surgically, which is the labral tear. I'm fantastic at fixing labrums. I love it. I can build you a new one if your labrum is shot and is not repairable. It's really fun for me. It was very hard to learn. It's one of those humbling things to learn, which is why a lot of fantastic orthopedic surgeons choose not to do it, because going through the humbling is not fun for anybody. But I got through that, and now I love it, and so it's great. But so much of what else is hurting that patient is not even in their hip. It's the surrounding aspects of the muscles that are trying to protect that patient, but now they themselves need help. And so like parsing that out and figuring out how it can help is very important.
For those listening and they're saying, boy, I know what that's my problem, or that's the issue I have, or anything else they've heard today and they're interested in knowing more about you. Hey, I want that guy to be my orthopedic surgeon. What's the best way for people to find out more about you or to follow you?
Best way for people to find out more about me was wusumd.com, www.wusumd.com.
And Wusu is W-U-S-U.
That is correct. Thank you very much for that spelling. And M as in medical doctor. There we go. And also, you can call the Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute phone number. It's on the website as well, 770-509-4030. and just let them know, hey, I want to see Dr. Wusu. We also have a ton of other fantastic orthopedic doctors that are my colleagues that we work with. So you really won't go wrong within the Northside network.
And is it true that if they do get to the point where they need a labrum repair and you do that labrum on the hip, that they then get a free dance lesson with you as well? Did I see that on the website?
If they request it,
okay, all right.
it is very hard for me to turn down a dance.
We need to end the show now so we can see some dance moves from Dr. Wusu after this show is over.
Too bad we're not on YouTube with this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Dan, get on that.
Let's pull out the video camera and get them on. Thank you so much for joining us. Love the passion, and thank you so much for sharing. I never want to be the smartest guy in the room. I'm not worried about that at all today.
All right, Mike, let's be honest. You're
much.
never worried about that. You actually got Dan, the producer, to laugh out loud on that one. That was good. All right.
Thanks for going there.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are not a joke, but are also very important. We all know that keeping your company's financial future on track means having the right resources to support your growth. Regions Commercial Banking offers you lending capabilities and strategic solutions tailored to your needs. And you'll work with a team of experienced bankers here in Gwinnett. Discover steps that you can take that'll help move you closer to your business goals. Regions is here to help. To learn more, visit regions.com/commercial-banking. Don't forget the dash. Regions Bank. Oh, Mike's here. I got to do it. Oh, Harper's not here. Member FDIC.
Big thank you to Dr. Timilehin Wusu, the orthopedic surgeon with Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute, for joining us. Also, Angie Ulibarri and Jackie Cobb with Georgia Festival of Trees for joining us as well. And, of course, a big shout-out to Dan Braverman for producing the show as well.
Mike, I do want to tell you are among the top 10 smartest people in this room right now. And that's better than me. I'm in the top 15. So
there's only 8 people in the room.
Well, see, you figured that out. Good job.
All right, and on that note, thank you, Dan.
I broke it down. I got Mike to stop. Hey, we will catch you next time. And Mike, thanks for letting me be your slightly annoying co-host here on Gwinnett Business Radio.